Good evening or good morning, depending on where you're calling in from. Thank you for joining. This is our third webinar for CQRIQ version 3.00.1. We're very excited to introduce you to CQRIQ. I'm just gonna go to the first slide here. So this is a recorded session, so everybody is in listen-only mode. If you do have questions, we're definitely gonna save some time at the end. So please enter them in the chat box, or the question box. We will post this webinar to our Learn site. So definitely if you have to leave at any time, there'll be a recording available after. Just to introduce myself, I'm Ashley Tusignot. I'm Senior Product Manager for Software House, the software portion of it. So mostly everything Secure, Secure 9000, CQRIQ. I've been here for close to 12 years. June will be 12 years. And then I'm here tonight with Nathan.
Hi, Ashley. My name's Nathan Qualls. I'm Senior Product Manager for Video Solutions. I joined JCI about 18 months ago to support the American Dynamics brands, so Victor and Video Edge. And as we're injecting more video into CQRIQ, I've been working on this software project as well. So happy to chip in and add my 2 cents to the video portion.
Yeah, it's definitely been great to team up, especially as our products have really aligned in this new client. So, quickly, our agenda, we're going to explain everything Secure, right? The new branding of our web-based client to CQRIQ. We're going to share all of the new feature sets that we just added for this 3.00.1. We're moving to a point release. So if you're waiting for 3.0 Service Pack 1, this is the equivalent to that. So just moving to a point system. We're going to save some time to do a demo. The demo is going to cover all of the new functionality, but if you do want to see any of our previous demos or any other features, our Learn site has a lot of great video content there. And then we'll be given a quick sneak peek of what's in development right now, what the teams are actively working on, and save some time for questions at the end. Okay, so here is the first sneak peek of CQRIQ. We've been talking about it for a long time, internally anyways. There was a big debate, what are we going to call this product? But we really settled on keeping Secure in the name. It's been well known, well loved, well utilized for the last couple of decades. So here is the evolution of Secure. So we are moving to a web-based client. So what you know today is Secure 9000 web-based client. That was what got rebranded to CQRIQ. So a couple of reasons why we decided to go this route. Web-based client offers a lot of flexibility if you want on-prem, cloud, or hybrid deployments. So we wanted people to have that opportunity and ease of use. We were also able to give Secure itself a great refresh. So we brought in outside experts and we hired internally user experience people that could really design this client and give it a new facelift, right? Secure 9000 and Secure 800, 8000 before it are well-loved products, but it was time to get a new uplift into that, user experience. The other thing that was the big focus here was bringing in our native video. So we have native video surveillance, all built within the platform. So it's not just a shared database with an integration. We actually have the same engineering teams that are working on the same client. So whether you're using access features or video features for American Dynamics or Exact, it's all going to be right within CQRIQ. And then the best part of this is that it's part of your standard licensing. So if you're new to being a web user, when you upgrade or install Secure 9000, it's one of your options right at that portion of the install. So you choose the web client and it's included within your standard licensing. So very exciting. This is the most robust web client we've ever had on both the American Dynamics or Software House portfolios. So quite a bit of functionality has been included. Here's kind of a quick timeline of how much we've been working on over the past couple of years. The first version of this new web client was introduced back in 290, which was about 2 years ago. That was the day-to-day personnel administration focus, right? So we had to kind of break down the feature sets of what we can include with each rev. And we started with the personnel administration side. So adding or editing new personnel, taking new badge photos, assigning clearances or new credentials to people, all of that was housed within the new web client. Then about 8 months after that, we introduced event management. So we had, the option of having like your standard list view of events coming in or side-by-side stacked view, or you could have it in a card format, which I can show you in a little bit. Then in 3.0, which came out this past summer, that's when we introduced the first phase of the native video and our application layouts right within SecureIQ. And then this rev that we're introducing tonight is really progressing that video functionality. So you're going to see a lot of updates to how you can create tours or video views, how you can set streaming settings, and also the first step in our object-based forensic search right within SecureIQ. And then we'll give a sneak peek of what the team's working on. So we do have 3.00.2 in the works right now. This is going to be focused on, business or security intelligence and organization. So being able to add tags within the system. So oftentimes we get asked like, okay, so who should start using SecureIQ today? So our thought is that really everybody should get comfortable with SecureIQ. There's lots of great tools in there to help streamline what features are available, like depending on what your role and responsibility is within the security industry using this tool. But we also, have this little punch list of different types of users and what kind of features they can all be using today within SecureIQ. So it's really focused on the day-to-day use case, setting up and assigning things that already have been configured in the system. And then anything that needs that one-time configuration, you would still do today in Secure 9000 until, everything gets ported over. Okay, here is kind of a rundown of all of the new functionalities. So we've been pretty busy here building up that standard video functionality in SecureIQ. That was the primary focus here. So we did introduce updates to video monitoring that included the video scrub bar. So you could kind of go back in time to historical video right within, the live video monitoring area. We added virtual PTZ because we had regular PTZ included last summer in version 3.0. We updated our forensic search to have object-based search, and you can even define a color of what you're looking for. And we added recorder management and the ability to configure video views and video tours right within the client. Another update was the activity viewer. We'll be able to show that to you in a few minutes. And also the support for enhanced authentication options. I'm going to let Nathan take us through some of the powered video that we included.
Great, thanks, Ashley. So yeah, as Ashley stated, in 3.0, we brought basic monitoring, and with that, simple video controls, being able to fast forward or rewind, fast forward, generate a snapshot, generate a clip from that live video monitoring focused layout. With 3.01 now, we've introduced this advanced search tool, and this is really a workflow-based approach. So being able to quickly transition from your live view to your advanced video search with the cameras that you're focused on at that point in time. And that really is building towards this goal of 3.01 of having core VMS functionality within SecureIQ. So monitoring, searching, and then being able to share or export video as needed. With this first iteration of advanced video search, we focused on a couple different search types. Of course, date and time searches are going to be kind of your bread and butter, day in, day out, grabbing some video from a camera and exporting it. But we've also added object-based search and linger. And this is really just the first step of advanced video search. We'll be progressing this functionality through the next releases, adding additional search tools such as motion detection, other rules like perimeters and other ways to analyze an object and the way it's behaving on the video feed. Object detection really is the logical place for us to start, especially with the power coming from our Illustra cameras these days. This really enables you, beyond basic motion detection. That could be anything from a leaf to a blade of grass to an animal. This really focuses in your search quickly by being able to look for people and different types of vehicles, getting to that critical point of discovery that you're trying to find in your forensic search. So that's kind of the goal with this advanced video search tool, and Ashley will get into more of the workflow when we have the demo here in a few minutes. The next slide we designed to illustrate the power of this object detection from Illustra AI. So we started off this journey back in, I would say, the fall, or actually probably late summer last year, where we had basic object detection. We could say, okay, here's a person, here's a car, here's a truck, here's a bus. And that's all well and good, but now we want to get into that next level of detail. What is that person wearing by color? The predominant color of the top of their body and the predominant color on the bottom of their body. So basically clothing color. And then the same thing with vehicles. Being able to search beyond just a car, a truck, or a bus and say, I want a red car or a blue car. What this is doing is setting the foundation. So as we develop new AI models and train our AI to detect different kinds of objects and subclassifications, we can quickly add those in, and SecureIQ will be able to search against those additional object types. So the next slide is kind of that configuration portion that you would do on the Illustra camera to enable this AI object classification. In future releases of SecureIQ, we'll be bringing this configuration into the client so that you don't have to navigate to an external or a web-based GUI to externally configure this camera. We'll also look at bringing in metadata, this object data from other cameras, expanding that range, and so this tool is more accessible to more users. The one thing I did want to focus on this slide, though, is just the nomenclature. We often throw around the word classification, subclassification, or objects and object attributes. Those really are the same thing. So today we have the classifications or objects we can search for are people or different types of vehicles. In our next Illustra firmware, we'll be adding different types of bags. So backpacks or luggage, and then also carts or trolleys or shopping carts, whatever you kind of want to call that, will be in a next firmware release for Illustra. From the subclassification or the attributes of those above objects, we're looking at clothing color, vehicle color, bag type, and then let's look at things like estimated speed. We can derive things like that based on the camera's lens parameters, that we track objects across the screen, assign them IDs, so we could also estimate speed. So lots of applications here, and again, the real takeaway here is now that we have this foundation, we can add to it and make a really powerful tool, but a real life end-to-end object detection solution. Today, what you need to make it work, you need a Illustra Pro or Flex Gen 4, and then latest camera firmware. And from the recorder side, VideoEdge 6.1 is the latest version of VideoEdge, and that brings the compatibility for those sub-classifications. So that's how you get there today. And as we move forward in the future, we'll be expanding that portfolio of analytic classification. Then the other big video features we brought in with 3.00.1 are video views and video tours. Ashley will walk through a bit of the configuration of how you set up views and how you set up tours. I just want to focus a little bit again on what these are and what they how they work within the greater SecureIQ system. So if you look at the high level of SecureIQ, you have layouts, and layouts can be an access control focused layout. It could be a video monitoring focused layout. It could be a combination of two. It could be like a swipe and show, or a dedicated event monitoring layout that maybe has one critical camera on it. And those are kind of those combined workflows that you might want to set up. Video views are specifically within video monitoring. So that's an example would be having a 2x2 grid that focuses just on your parking lot cameras. Maybe you have another grid, 2x2 or 3x3 even, that focuses on your main entry and the reception area. And maybe you have another video view set up that's a single camera. It's a high-res PTZ that you can zoom and pan, and you really want to take advantage of your screen space. And so with those video views established, you can quickly switch between them to quickly get to what matters most for your guard or your operator who's manning that workstation. And then below that is video tours. So video tours is taking a series of video views and rotating them based on a defined dwell time. So they cycle through without any clicks or input to the UI. And then whenever you see something that is an anomaly or is concerning, you can pause that rotation to do deeper investigation. So Ashley will show some of that as well in the demo. Okay.
Thanks, Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the next feature is our system activity. So this is it tracks all of the system activity, and it's a little bit of an eye chart, but over here, all of the blue check marks are all the things that you can monitor. Common use cases are user logins, personal admits, rejects, device statuses. So basically all of these are getting filtered in real time, and you're getting notification for those events. So that is new. It is the first phase. So in future roadmap revs, we'll be able to have a right-click action and have some options for each of those activities that are coming in. But right now you can view them. And then rounding out the new major features is the enhanced authentication option. This was a pretty popular request. We've always had basic authentication, right? That's where you have a Secure 9000 operator username and password. But now with enhanced authentication, we're leveraging OAuth 2 and SAML to be able to offer, single sign-on or two-factor authentication across our product lines. So this does encompass Secure 9000, so your legacy admin and monitoring client, the SecureIQ, so the web-based client, and also Secure Portal. So if you are an existing visitor management or access management workflow user, you'd be able to leverage those offerings for that. This is our first release of enhanced authentication like this. So we do, strongly recommend that you work with professional services to get that, one-time setup. In the future, we hope it will be easier and anybody could do it. But for this first offering, we're hoping that, professional services can get that set up. How it works is we have bundled it with the LDAP licensing, which runs in small, medium, or large size, depending on your Secure 9000 system series. So if you're already an LDAP user today, you don't need to repurchase the LDAP license. You already have it on file. You would be able to leverage enhanced authentication as well. I also like to kind of point out the smaller, usability enhancements that we include, whether it's from feedback from users or, just little ones that kind of slip by that aren't the major ones that we try to put a lot of focus and attention on. A couple of those items are, like the first one is the credential expiration date was extended to 2048. I think it was 2038 before that. We are going to extend it further. There's some customers that really need to have that leverage of having, a certain extended date, whether it's 20, 25 years out. So that is updated. We also enhance the workflow for video search. So right here in this image, you see that we're in video monitoring. So it's the live feed of all the video. And if you wanted to switch to forensic search, you can just click the video search button right here, and it will tie you right into that workflow, which makes it very easy to use. We're also trying to leverage anywhere we can, copying of layouts to make it easier to set up, a very similar layout. So in this particular case, from a right-click action, you can go to Save As, and you'll start a second layout that will be very similar to the first one, and then you can tweak it from there and save it. So just trying to give those templates easy access for you. And the last item here is the system activity log. So I'll show you during the demo of how you can access a quick activity log and download it from any page. We're going to jump over to the demo in just a moment here. Again, it's not going to encompass all of the feature sets because we've had 4 revs of enhancements to the web client. So it would be a lot to get through on one demo, but we do have quite a bit of videos available on our Learn page. So, feel free to go back and see any of the historical features from our previous releases. So today we're going to focus on configuration, so showing how to build some of the enhancements to layouts. We have a couple new widgets in there. Also the ability to have those, the configuration of the video views or video tours. We also included recorder management, and that's for both Exact and Video Edge recorders. And then we'll give a quick demo of the object-based search under video monitoring. And I'm going to share one of our swipe and show videos from the Learn page with you guys. So here is SecureIQ. If you are running version 290 or 3.0, it's going to look the same, except it's going to say Secure 9000 still. So you guys are seeing front and center the new naming of the new client. So we're pretty excited. General usability. So I'm logged in as a test administrator here. We have a nice system that a few of us have access to, and we get to play around with and demo. Usability items, it scales nicely depending on your screen size, or even if you're going down to a tablet, so you can kind of decide, how large you want fonts and things to filter in. You can also change any of the color themes. We have 4 options in here. It's really based on user preference, so I can change it at any time, and then it's going to remember it the next time I log back in. And then on the previous screen, here's where you can download that system activity log. So it will download it to a zip file, so I can do that at any time. And I want to spend a lot of time into personnel administration, obviously, because this is the first feature set that we added into the web client, but I just wanted to give you a quick peek of what it looks like in case you hadn't seen it. So here's the list of personnel in the system. We have great filtering options here. So, anything you can filter. We take the first stab at, common things you would want to filter for, name, partition, personnel type. But you can open up the full context menu and pull in any of these additional fields to filter at a different time. Same with the columns. Nathan brought this up on one of the last presentations, but we have the personnel photos and the names, email address, watch list, but you can pull in any additional columns. You can change the order of them, and they'll all remain in there as a favorites for the next time I log back in, unless I set it back to default. And then when in doubt, we do have our global search bar. So this is great because you can search for anything at any time. So not just personnel, but any objects, in the system. I'm going to jump over to configuration. to show you some of the new areas. So here is the layouts. When you upgrade to at least 3.0, when we introduced application layouts, you will get 7 of them pre-built right out of the box. So whether you're looking for more of an access view where it's focusing on events and swipe and show, or you want something with video like video monitoring or SOC operator view, there's a bunch of different options that come without you needing to actually set up a new layout. So it makes it very easy for new users. Here's the screen if you wanted to create a new layout. You can pick from custom 1x1 or 2x2 options. So I'll select 2x2 for this. And then we have a series of widgets here on the left-hand side. There's text overlays as you learn all of the new icons, and activity viewer is one of the new ones. So if I have an item that needs to have additional configuration, I'm able to get a little prompt here that's going to let me know in blue that I need to configure it. So you can set the freeze timeout threshold and then pick any of the items in here. One of the other new items that we have is in our health dashboard area. You can have a full system health dashboard. That's been there for a couple of revs. But what's new is in our card view where you can focus on one item, you can set the threshold of how often you want it to refresh. So in here, we could pick something like, let's monitor cameras, and maybe we want to know when we've lost video. So you can kind of go through the different options in here for the properties. You pick video loss. And then right here, this is the new portion. You can set how often you want it to automatically refresh on the screen. So I'm going to choose 30 seconds. And then once I save my configurations, it's going to gray out that option and let me know that I'm all set with that configuration. The health dashboard itself is great. That's just a running 7-day tally of how the system's behaving. So it's not configurable. If you want to add configurable options, you would set up the card widgets on the side. So some of the other updates here, if you go to the video configuration area, this is where you can set up your video views, video tours, and set your global smart streaming. So for video views, we did set up a couple last week where we pulled together cameras that were all within our Westford office near our video lab. So I'll just open up one of these so you can see. So how this works is, oh, it's nighttime in Westford. But you can pull up your list of cameras and choose. We chose for these different video views a couple of cameras that are set up either in this lab or on the parking lot right in the back of the lab. Once you set up a view and save that, I'm not gonna change that because it's already in there. Then you can go back and go into building a tour. So here is one that we started for the Westford lab. I have 3 different cameras in here. So one is of the kind of entrance door to the lab. And then here is the back equipment of the lab. And then it filters through to the parking lot that's right on the side of the lab. How I set up this tour is that it dwells on each of those views for about 5 seconds. But at any time I could pin the camera and kind of stay, locked on that one view. So right now we've paused the tour. So really any of these views can be added. And then, this is a live look at those camera views, but you can obviously set this into an application layout and a guard could take use of either a standard video view or a tour as part of their layout. We also have smart streaming. So today it's a global setting. So if you have, multiple CQRIQ web users, it's going to be, routine across the board for them. In the future, we'll have it more individualized so that when you have people in different, bandwidth settings, they'll be able to kind of customize what they need for that. And I think the last thing I just wanted to show you, I didn't mention it, I don't think, on the last call, but we have web views as well. So as more and more functionality is getting introduced into the web client, it's really great how you can kind of assign the look and feel customized to a particular role. So in this case, we have a web view for a guard post. So this particular user will have some light, personnel administration. Anything that's in blue has been enabled. So, monitoring personnel, checking in visitors, some gracing personnel, some light personnel administration. We also have monitoring so that they can view video, but we've removed anything that has to do with like the one-time configuration of items. Once you're happy with the view, you can go and from a right-click action, go into a preview mode. And the little blinking icon's letting me know that I'm now not looking at this from, the system administrator standpoint, but from that guard post view. So the configuration option's been removed. And if I open any of these options in here, the application has been streamlined to only give me access to the areas that I provided for them. So it makes it very easy for new people to kind of get up and running on the new web client, right? So it's easier for them to learn where they don't have, areas that are grayed out or losing focus in areas that they don't need to be concerned with. Still think that's one of my favorite features. How about you, Nathan?
Yeah, focus views are really powerful. On the video side, we get that comment a lot that there's so many tools, it can be overwhelming, especially with kind of the entry-level guard post type of use case.
Yeah, absolutely. So I chose one of our out-of-the-box layouts. So here, there's 7 that are built out of the box. Video monitoring is one of them. In here, I can pull up the list of devices. So that could be cameras that are associated with the system or video views or tours that we've built. I'm going to pull in cameras for now. So I'm going to pull in a couple from our Westford, Mass location. This is the office that Nathan and I go to. Oops, it might be off right now just because it's nighttime. And then here is one from our Belfast, Ireland option, or office. I'm sorry. Do a quick refresh and see if they pull in. There we go. Okay. So I'm obviously on a VPN, so the system is working with me here. But here's the live layout of each of these. So it is nighttime, actually in all three, all 3 cameras, it's nighttime. But we could, jump back with the video scrub bar down here, and I can go back and see, what it looked like during the daytime here. Once I'm taking all of these cameras back, on the video scrub bar, once we go to the historical video content, it lines each of the boxes in orange. So you can see now we're looking at a historical clip versus, live, which is in blue. So from here, if I wanted to do a forensic search, I click the button up in the top right-hand corner, and then I can choose. So today, as Nathan had covered earlier, we have date, time, linger, and object detection. We're going to do object detection for this demo. The camera that's able to do that is our Lestra Pro 4 Gen, which is this Flex 4 camera. This is a lab in Belfast, so it's pointed at a window and it's nighttime, so it doesn't look that great right this second, but we're going to do a search for for the last 24 hours. So we'll update that and then be able to see some better views of the videos. So here's a list of all the objects that you can pull in. We'll start with a car. You can also define the color. Maybe we'll just search for a black car. And I know you guys probably don't know what you're looking at right here, but I can see the lines of the parking lot. You can either, select all areas, or you can draw a region of a particular area to see. And we can run our search. Some thumbnails. So right here, pull up the feed of the black car, which is right here. Okay. And also draw, a region here, and we can even add a secondary search. So we can put in a person. Update our search for that. You can get really fancy. You can define the color of, the pants they're wearing or the top they're wearing. So right here, we've got I believe, a black car and a person walking. So there we go. So there's the quick historical feed of that. So it's pretty easy. If you're not sure what colors you're looking for, you can go in and you don't have to assign a color. You can kind of break it down and filter by the different color options that the system is tracking. Is most of the new items that I wanted to share with you guys. There is a quick video I have. This is available on the Learn site, but I wanted to show you the power of our Swipe and Show right now. So Swipe and Show has been kind of a fan favorite on the access management side for years, and it got a whole facelift in the new client where we incorporated video. So you can have that live video representation and the historical clip. So the history of people that are badging into an area. You can see, like, anytime there's a camera associated with a door that people are badging into, you can go back and see the areas that they accessed. So in this video, she's going to be choosing a layout that she built. So Swipe and Show with video. So this is in our Belfast office. So she has a person that's badging in, they were admitted, and then the guard could verify that that is in fact the person that was the picture on the badge. Here we have a second person walking through the door, also an admin. Oh, but what happens, if somebody tries to get through that doesn't have access? So this person got an access denied, and right here, I'll pause it. Right here, you have the option to, if you didn't have this video filter, already opened up for yourself, you could view the live video, or if you have the video, you can see if you want to momentarily unlock the door or grace that personnel if you have a good representation that is Kristen trying to enter the area.